What's up, Taiwan? I'm Olivier with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol has been released from detention after the Seoul Central District Court found procedural problems with his arrest and indictment and declared his detention invalid. Kanan's Karanta reports.
Walking free, impeached South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol leaves detention after more than 50 days. He was being held on charges of leading an insurrection after a short-lived attempt to impose martial law. But the Seoul Central District Court found issues with the timing of his arrest and indictment in January and declared his detention illegal. Prosecutors aren't challenging the decision. In a Facebook post, Yoon thanked the court for its courage and determination, as well as his supporters, who've been holding rallies throughout Seoul since he was arrested. And on the day of his release, some gathered to greet him.
오랫동안 기다리면서 빨리 못 나오셔서 굉장히 안타깝고 너무 힘들게 기다렸는데요. 그래도 기다렸다는 보람이 굉장히 많았고요. 그다음에 직접 한 2m 앞에서 대통령님 딱 뵈는데 눈물이 나오면서 나도 모르게 막 고함이 질러지고 너무 반갑고.
But Yoon's still facing insurrection charges, part of an ongoing criminal trial. Yoon declared martial law in December last year, sending troops to the legislature and leaving many in South Korea horrified. The order was reversed by lawmakers within hours, but it created political turmoil and division, setting off months of protests from both opponents and supporters of Yoon. And it led lawmakers to vote for his impeachment. The decision on whether to remove him from office now rests with the country's constitutional court. For now, Yoon's release simply means he can wait out his criminal and impeachment trials from home. The embattled leader's legal and political fate still all but certain. Howard Jung and Kanan's Karanta for TaiwanPlus.
A South Korean defense expert says the North's plan to develop a nuclear-powered submarine poses a threat to both Seoul and Washington. Moon Kun-sik, a Hanyang University professor, says the vessel under construction looks fit to carry around 10 ballistic missiles. North Korean state media revealed images of the prototype on Saturday, the first time the country has shown such a submarine. It's thought North Korea may be getting technical help from Russia in exchange for supplying troops for Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. Several Taiwanese celebrities are facing anger at home for reposting pro-unification messages on China's Weibo social media platform. The posts refer to Taiwan as a province of China. Former fans from Taiwan are voicing anger on these performers' other social media platforms, but there could be legal consequences as well as backlash. The government says it will look into whether these actors and singers broke the law governing Taiwan-China ties. While Taiwan has a de facto embassy in the United States, Taiwan's two biggest political parties, the DPP and KMT, also maintain a presence in the U.S. Capitol. What do they do, and why does Taiwan need them? Leslie Liao went to Washington, D.C. to find out.
Shouting matches, thrown objects, and all-out brawls. Common sights in Taiwan's legislature between the country's two biggest political parties, the Democratic Progressive Party and the Kuomintang. The two sides often at odds over everything from ideology to policy. On foreign policy, though, the two parties take a similar approach. Without formal diplomatic ties, Taipei and Washington's relations are facilitated through the country's de facto embassy in the United States. And hoping to forge closer ties with their American allies, both the DPP and KMT also operate separate missions in Washington.
We're here to have a regular contact with different circles in Washington, D.C., including the U.S. government, Congress, the academic circles, and also our diaspora communities.
Retired Ambassador Victor Chin is the Kuomintang's representative in Washington. He's been in the U.S. for nearly 2 years now, helping re-establish the KMT's presence in the U.S. Capitol after the party's previous liaison office shut down in 2008.
I really worry about Taiwan, especially after the tensions arises in the Taiwan Strait. And I think I can play a part in making sure that the American friends understand our situation, understand our needs.
At a time when China's ramping up its threats against Taiwan, Ching says he's fighting the perception that his party capitulates to Beijing.
If you look deep down into the situation, you realize that KMT is not only not pro-China, it's actually the party that started this democratization process in Taiwan that brought democracy to Taiwan. It is not pro-China at all.
And despite their differences, Chin says partisan fighting doesn't make it to the U.S. And the KMT and DPP can work together in Washington to represent the best of Taiwan.
We don't have to be arguing, fighting all the way. And I know, especially in Washington, D.C., we're representing major political parties of Taiwan. And we don't want our American friends to see us fighting all the time. So
now that we've met with the KMT here in D.C., we're going to head down the road to meet with the DPP.
Just a mile away, Iris Xiao heads the DPP mission in Washington.
The mission of DPP mission is simple. We invest, we align, we compete. Diplomat, because diplomats come and go every couple of years. But we were here, we have, for 11 years now, we have institutional memories.
While Taiwan's representative office carries out the country's formal diplomatic policies, Xiao's able to get closer to D.C. policymakers.
We help people in this town, in the Washington's policy community, to understand what's going on in Taiwan. And, you know, because the domestic politics, given it's really foreign and difficult for people to understand, even they follow Taiwan closely.
Xiao says her job is also about fighting misperceptions about her party's relationship with China.
We are also facing a growingly competitive war on narratives. In this town, the long conventional wisdom of DPP as provocateur for cross-strait relations.
Nothing separates the KMT and DPP more than their views on China. But when it comes to representing Taiwan in Washington, Xiao and her counterpart both agree. It's all about putting their best foot forward.
I was put on the same panel with my counterpart, KMT counterpart, a couple of times. We don't engage in friendly fire.
Both parties say they're doing what's best for Taiwan. Back home, it might seem like whenever one party comes up heads, the other is obligated to go tails. But here in D.C., the KMT and DPP are two sides of the same coin. Leon Lien, Laurel Stewart, and Leslie Liao in Washington, D.C. for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwanese ultra-runner Tommy Chen has made history, becoming the first athlete from Asia to finish a grueling 617-kilometer race in the Arctic. Chen crossed the finish line in Canada after completing the 6633 Arctic Ultra in just under 8 days. It's an event dubbed the toughest foot race in the world, where athletes battle brutal conditions, including temperatures as low as minus 50 degrees Celsius. Only about 30% of people make it to the finish line. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, we sign off with these twin polar bear cubs at a zoo in Hungary. It's their first public appearance. I'm Jeremy Olivier. Take care and see you next time.
For more stories from Peru and around the world, download the TaiwanPlus app.